you find it?
Wait, what? Find it?
Like the server?
I'm trying to enter, but for some reason,
Are you sure it's the right
it's
server?
not working.
Remember, there is stories to be told. It shows like under. Do you select there's the name and then the IP?
Yeah, I'm in. Okay, where were we? What was the thing we were about to do next?
Actually, why do I have nothing? Bro, did I die?
Oh,
Can you
I
give
don't
me your code?
remember you dying.
I don't remember me dying either. Why would I be dead?
Okay, wait. Is it X and Z?
Wait, are we in the right
Oh,
server? Wait, which server are you in?
oops. Ignore that slash.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so it was actually yours. I see. Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Nice to see this again. Okay, so we should build more, right? What if we expand? You know, what if we get some wood and we expand like the pros we are?
Okay.
We need more stone though. Do you have stone?
Nope.
Okay, I'm
Let's
gonna go
go
get
get
stone.
some.
What if we create a special place to mine? You know, like something like. What about these, bro? What about here?
What?
What about it? Yeah, I misclicked one, but wait, yeah, like, wait, do you know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean. Wait,
Oh. Okay, wait. Create a little
whoa,
area and then we go down from here, right? Like something like that.
no.
Like a stair.
Wait, do we know what we are talking about? Okay, let me do the outline. Okay, come here to this side. Let me do the outline. Do you get it? No?
Okay, I don't have an axe. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an axe either.
Yeah, just get rid of the water by putting a piece of dirt.
You have wood?
Yep.
Ouch. Ow!
Here, take it.
Thank you. Ow!
Oh my god. You're in the direction of the wood. I mean the stones.
Oh my god, do you have a stone pickaxe?
Nope.
Yeah, I can give you one. In a second. Take.
Did you drop one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh.
What happened?
We fell in It leads to a mine shaft right below.
I see. Wait, what? Oh. Wait, those fences doesn't exist in this version or what? I have no idea. Oh, slabs do exist. Okay. Okay.
We should have some music. Wait, are you streaming?
Yeah. I'm hearing the Minecraft music from the game. So cool. Holy shit.
It's weird. I don't have any. It'll
Yeah,
count.
I mean, it's totally random. So who knows? Maybe it will be in
I haven't had
a
it this whole time. Oh, now it's kicking in.
Oh my god.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah.
I've been reading a book recently while I go to bed.
What is it?
The Mushoku Tensei book I've been telling you. It's actually multiple. I'm on like volume 5.
I see.
I actually like it more than the anime. Like when I watched the anime, I thought it was like, wow, it's so good, you know? But you know, The book? Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, it's just more detailed.
Like,
Hard to describe how, though.
what parts are like the most like important ones that you remember? Like, when you think about the book.
Okay, I'll start with a few. Uh, I gotta start from the beginning though, on like what setting is. So this guy, he's like, he's like 35 years old, right? And he's a failure, pretty much. That's like the general idea of who he is.
Damn.
So he's like shut in, no job,
Me for real.
and yeah, and he spanks it to Lolly. So yeah, he's basically like that. Anyways, he dies after
Okay.
getting kicked out of his house, and then he's reincarnated, and then he decides that he's gonna make a change and live this life properly, pretty much. Uh, and it's like a magical worlds type of thing, where it's like adventures, elves, dwarves, dungeons, um, dragons, that type of thing.
Hmm. I see.
And then he's born to these like retired adventurer parents who live in like this farming type of land, like out in the boonies. Well, yeah, rural area. And then he starts learning magic and he's like a prodigy. Okay, that's like the setup.
I see.
There's this moment where, okay, so their household has the father, the mother, and the maid, right?
The maid.
Yeah, they have a maid.
Okay.
Uh, and then the father gets his mom, or I mean, yeah. Okay, wait, I should use this properly. The father gets the mother pregnant, right?
Yeah, not his mother, right? That would be kind of weird.
And then, that's all well and good. But then it's revealed that he also gets the maid pregnant, like shortly after. So he
What the
cheated
fuck? Yeah.
because he couldn't have any action, right, while she's pregnant. So he went to the maid.
He's just a retard. What the fuck?
Yeah. So the family is summoned to the dinner table pretty much, and then they're discussing it. And then there's a risk that the mother is going to pretty much sentence the maid to their death by like sending them out.
Why is she
'Cause
gonna
it's-
sentence the maid and not the? Is the guy who messed up the whole shit? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
so he's like sulking in a corner and stuff. Okay, so wait. Yeah. Uh she didn't do it, but she's considering it, right? She's like, okay, I don't really know if I want this maid in our household, right? But it's like winter out there, and like people get around by carriages, and she's a lone girl, so it's like it's pretty unlikely that she can make it. So what the main character does is, okay, he does it for. Okay, I'll explain later, but he's
Okay, I can tell you really like the story because you
He
really
blames-
care about the impression. Okay.
he blames the father, and like pretty much makes up a story of like how he forced her to have sex, right? The maids,
Yeah.
and it's all fake. And then the family is convinced, like the mother's convinced enough to let the maid stay after some thinking, and then the situation is diffused, right?
Okay.
So, um, so like on the surface, it seems like this main character just like blamed the father for committing like a crime pretty much, and then resolved it like that, right? And it's kind of like, what? The mother just believes that, and then yeah, but it's later revealed. Well, okay, the main character, he actually saved the maid for a pretty ridiculous reason. It was because she always took care of him, right, when he grew up, but also because when she found the panties that he stole from another girl in his room, like
Uh-huh.
hidden, she didn't tell anyone. She's like, she just ignored it gently. So he was like, yeah, I'm grateful. And then that's why he saved her, right? That's what he tells himself in the monologue
Yeah,
before
it's
he makes the
more
decision.
so what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Okay, continue.
So, um, that's how the situation plays out. And the maid is like, she can tell, like, oh, he maneuvered the situation, he understood. Like, remember, this kid's only 5 years old, he reincarnated. So there's no way he should understand, like, uh, what is going on, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
if he was not reincarnated. But the maid was like, oh my god, he's like so smart, he knew and he saved my life. Like, I'll dedicate my child to him. Like, I'll make my child serve him in the future, right?
What?
So you come out of that, you're like, what? But anyways, near the end of the book, the perspective shifts to the mother, like having like a pretty much a campsite, I mean a campfire type of conversation,
Okay.
uh, with the main character, and it's revealed uh, that she never actually believed that the father would force himself on the maids, right? Because she didn't marry someone like that. But the reason she changed her mind was because she noticed in the main character's face that deep down, he just didn't want the family to break apart, right? It's uh,
Yeah, I mean,
like he was nervous for that, and that's why she was reminded of like what's at stake, right? So that shouldn't break it up for this.
okay.
And yeah, that was I feel like that was good. That was a good moment. I liked it, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's like the main character is kind of characterized to be like this scumbag, and he kind of is based on his actions. But like you realized at the very end that like he was kind of lying to himself on why he was doing his actions, right? He was actually like he actually cared about the family, and he was worried about like his new life, uh, you know, family breaking apart again, right? Versus, I'm just like saving the maid because she helped me hide my panties from this other girl, right?
Huh? Okay. Okay, it's a lot of process. Okay, so can you explain what you liked about it? Like, imagine you are talking to someone who watched and understood the exact same things that you did. How like, would you explain him what you like? Like, what would you detailed or how to call it point at? Does that make sense?
Mm. The mm,
We need more stairs.
I feel like it's a lot the character of the main protagonist. It's like he's very interesting to watch in action, right? It's like you don't get bored seeing like what will he do next, right? Because a lot of stories like similar settings have these protagonists that are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like protect all my friends. I'm gonna save the day. Like I'll never give up, never. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
No idea.
oh, I guess you haven't watched that much anime, but yeah, it's pretty much like that. The the hopeful protagonist type of thing, right? But this guy, he's a thinker, you know, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting character. Uh, I don't know. It's like when I read that scene, I was like, oh my god, that's so sweet, you know, like the the mother knew, and then she's like, she understood the feelings, and it's like the main character actually, like deep down, he's not like it shows the the light through the rottenness, right? It's like such good
Okay.
characterization. Yeah, that's what something. That's what makes it good, I think. Uh,
I see.
okay, so the second book is he's sent off to this like royal families, um, to be a royal family's magic tutor because he's like a prodigy in magic, right? And he's tutoring this little girl that's like 2 years older than him, but she like beats everyone up all the time when she doesn't get her way, and she's like really loud, and yeah, she basically just hits everyone around her, and it's very obnoxious. So they do a bunch of stuff together,
Huh?
and she ends up gradually falling in love with him. Uh, and yeah, it's like they just go through a bunch of antics together throughout the second book. And it's just like, I don't know. I like the girl's character a lot, also. Like, it's the characters, I think, that makes it good. The, the depth of the characters, in my opinion. Well, not depth, actually. Because they're not, yeah, it's not very deep in terms of, like, the complexity of it, but it's like, hmm, I wonder, what makes it good? It's very memorable, at least.
Hmm.
Very charming. Uh, what else? Okay, so remember when I said before that people think that if you read this book, you're like a pedo sympathizer or something like that?
No, but let's imagine that I do.
Yeah, like uh, I can see where that comes from. Because let me describe some crazy things that the MC did, because they're pretty memorable. Like, like at the beginning, he meets a childhood friend. He's like 5 years old, right? So he's like, he's thinking like, oh, she's going kind of dependent on me, you know? Like that's a little bit odd. But then, uh, he basically he almost makes the decision like, yeah, I'm gonna like make her my wife in the future, and like basically groom her. Like that's. But then his father steps in, and then he, actually, yeah, something like that. And then he separates them forcefully to send them off on a job. So that's pretty wild. Uh,
Interesting.
and when he's with the girl that he's tutoring,
Hmm.
like, yeah, he's pretty much like feeling up her breasts and stuff, like occasionally. Uh,
Eh?
and like he almost tries to initiate like doing the deed
Yeah.
when it was his birthday, and people thought he was sad because his parents didn't show up, which is true. They didn't show up, but it's because of like monsters in the area, right? But he doesn't actually care. But like he's acting like it because he doesn't want them to like think he's weird or like have it not be appropriate, you know? Uh, something like that. And then so the girl goes to comfort him, but he like misunderstands the situation and like tries to make a move, like out of it's pretty much a loss of self control, right? But then um she obviously like tells him that's not like her intention, and then it's like he regrets it a lot. Like he's sitting there and like lying on the floor, and then when she comes back, he like prostrates himself like in a kneeling position, right? Okay, why am I talking about this?
Yeah, I have no
Because
idea.
because it's hard to describe, but basically, it's like it's showing. It's like it's showing the lights behind the rottenness. You know, it's like
Okay.
Okay, hold on. How do I put this?
Do you like to see unperfect characters?
Okay, no, no, no. It's the development. Okay, it makes sense if I describe this thing in the future. So in the future, right? Um, something really like bad happens, and then she tries to comfort him again, and then this time
Uh,
like they're like older, they're like more of age, and then um he declines it, right? He declines her because he doesn't want to take advantage of the situation, right? So that huge feeling of regret matters because that's what caused them to change and grow from that. And it's like shown later on, right? So I guess it doesn't have much significance as you read it if you didn't know what happens later. But yeah. Um, oh yeah. And like he goes on an adventure, and along that adventure he one of his missions was like free a bunch of slaves, right?
like Khaleesi,
Like what?
Game of Thrones
Oh,
reference.
okay. I don't know. But he frees a bunch of slaves, and there's like there are a bunch of like what I don't know, it's like 12, 13-year-old girls and boys, right?
Hmm.
And then like some of them are naked, and he's like, "Yo, I must stay focused. I can't be distracted." Like, like you read some of these things and you're like, "Yo, this guy!" Like, "Oh my God, this guy!" You know. But the thing is, at the end of the day, like he never does anything that very wrong. I mean, like he tries to peek in and like catch glances or whatever. Like he never does anything like mortally wrong, like a mortal sin. You know what I mean?
No idea.
It's all in his head. It's all in the main character's head. Like he's thinking like, oh yeah, like I'll like grow up her breasts or whatever. Like I'll get with her. It's like kids, but like he never ends up doing any of it, right? So it's like he's not like as bad as I'm describing, right? Like despite thinking all these things. Anyways, another moment was,
Oh shit. I don't know, bro.
oh yeah,
I guess it's like me trying
so
to explain why Song of Saya is a great story and why it literally frightened me so much, and also at the same time it entertained me. So it was not just like, oh, it's scary, ooh. It was like, goddamn, what the fuck? So this guy is gonna fight because he has nothing left, because basically the life, like all his friends are basically dying because the protagonist has killed them all in a killing spree with that diabolical love that he has with the fucking alien thing, and then they fucking uh, fight with the fucking very cool girl medicine doctor thing with the gun and all of that. Yeah, and it's also like disturbing. It's like but so interesting at the same time, accompanied
mm,
by great music and a very unique style of art that looks like kind of old, and it's kind of like some kind of analog anime, I guess, thing. It's like anime, but it's not anime. I don't know how to call it. It's like Japanese drawing, but um, old. Yeah, old, but not old like Sailor Moon. It's like something different. I don't know how to explain it, and it's great. By the way, what do you wanna build here? By the way.
I'm building like a stone tower. Like, oh my God, bro.
I
Oh
don't
my
think
God.
you're building that shit. I don't think
Bro,
you're
you
building
pushed
anything,
me.
bro.
You pushed me.
Bro, you push me up and then you fall. I didn't press a single button. You could have wait for me, you know. You, you could have wait for me to go down.
Okay, what's the coordinates? Please press F3.
Eh?
Can you press F3?
Wait, you don't have spawn point, bro. Minus 1,426, 78, 570.
I thought I had some odd point, but apparently not. Okay, let me describe a scene that describes why it's better than the anime, I think. Right.
No.
So, the main character
Mhm.
and the girl he was tutoring, and he meets this like warrior from a demon race that's really feared, and he's trying to like help improve his reputation pretty much, right? And the disguise is that he pretty much dyes his hair blue because the green hair of the demon race that he is what reveals him to be the demon, right?
Mhm.
Uh, but while they're doing that, there's this blackmailer that like catches them doing something pretty bad, and then that might get them in trouble like pretty badly. And he's thinking like, okay, should I kill this guy? Like, either we run, kill this guy, or like he's weighing all his options, right? He's
Mhm.
thinking really hard about it. But he really doesn't want to kill them at first. He's like, I don't want to solve my problems by killing people. Like that's not good. Mhm.
Mhm.
And then it's like he's constantly trying to like think, right? And he eventually justifies it to himself that like, okay, if we don't kill this guy, like we're not getting out of here. Like it's not possible to get out of this without like something going down, okay? But then
Okay.
he also reminds himself, like, okay, like, why am I here, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to, to tell you. The reason that they're on the adventure is because there's like this great disaster that happens, and
I'm sorry. Brain
it pretty much,
meltdown. It's like, okay, so basically it's like, imagine I'm trying to explain Dragon Ball, and I'm like, bro, there is this scene where Vegeta dies, you know, and then it's like, okay, but you don't understand why. Okay, so basically, before Vegeta dies, he's fighting Majin Buu, right? And then there is his kid. Okay, so he has a kid. Okay, so wait, let me explain. Okay, so basically, there's this character called Bulma, who is one of the main characters, right, from the beginning of the series, and it's a like a very authoritarian character, right? And it's like very cool because it's like very fun and interesting to see interact with the world of the anime, right? And then yeah, the thing is, okay, Bulma is the best friend of Goku. Oh yeah, okay, Goku. Okay, let me go a bit behind. Okay, so basically Goku is like the main
okay,
character of
okay,
Dragon
I get it,
Ball.
I get it. I'll describe. Okay. So I'll skip that. So basically, he thinks to himself, okay, like why am I fighting? Okay, so
Bro, like,
what am I fighting for, right? It's to protect this girl,
bro,
right?
listen
Protect
to
the
me,
girl.
bro.
What?
Listen, bro.
What?
Look at me. Look at me in the eyes. Look at me.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you looking at me in the eyes? Straight in the eyes, in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, um, the only way you could explain totally what you feel about the series to someone would be like, I'm gonna give you an example. Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Would you let me finish my example?
Okay.
Okay. You know this movie called Lion King that I really love?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So basically, in the movie, it begins with the when Simba gets born, right, or whatever it's called. How's it called when someone like comes to life? How how would you
Yeah.
say it?
Born.
Yeah, but how would you say it? Like the phrase?
Yeah, Simba is born.
Okay, when
Or
Simba was
was
born.
born.
Okay, it begins when Simba was born. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so basically, Simba is born, right? And then we have the monkey, all of that. We have a ceremony, right? And we have Mufasa, the father, uh, the mother, which I always forget the damn name, and I don't know why because, yeah, whatever. So sad. I think it's because they mention it like once or twice in the whole movie. Okay, so then there's the brother of Mufasa. Okay, he's called Scar, right? Because of a very obvious reason. Okay, so basically what happens is that um, uh, Mufasa goes to his brother because his brother Scar didn't go to the ceremony, right? So he goes and fights to him. By the way, I let you all the things on the chest if you wanna keep building. No, in the other.
Which one?
Right here. Do you see it? Like no, like there, there, like there. Like no. Can you look, bro? You can. Do you? Can you use your damn eyes? What is it? Okay, so
I'm looking at your stream. It's here.
bro, can't you use his own fucking eyes? Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah. Oh man. We need more
Continue.
stairs. You know what? I'm gonna put just 2 stairs in each part, and that's gonna avoid many kills. That's for sure. So what I was saying? Okay, so
Car.
basically, Scar is like, I'm just translating from Spanish though, so don't expect a good translation or accurate. So basically, um, let me remember. Oh yeah, Mufasa goes to his brother, right? I mean, first, there is a bird, okay, which is called okay, I forgot how it's called.
Don't
Okay, a
worry
bird.
about the specifics.
Yeah. Okay, so the bird goes and tells Scar like, you should be in the ceremony of your nephew, right? Mufasa is gonna be very mad at you, and then the Scar is like trying to eat him, and then Mufasa comes and is like, Scar, vomit him, like don't eat it, right? And then Scar is like, I mean Mufasa tells him like, Scar, you didn't come to the ceremony of my kid. I'm like, why? And Scar is like, oh, I must have forget it, you know. And then he's like just like ignoring him and stuff like that, like trying to be annoying. And then he gives his back to Mufasa, right? Or he goes away, and then Mufasa is like, don't give me your back, like, or don't face the other way, right? And Scar's like, no, it's better that you don't give me your back, right? And Mufasa is like, are you threatening me? And Scar says, um, no, I wouldn't do such a thing, not again, right? Because basically, for becoming a Lion King, they had to fight, right? And Mufasa won, and that's why Scar it's like that, right? Like, no, I wouldn't fight you again, Mufasa. Never. Like, he says that he was talented into his intelligence, but he wasn't very gifted into his strength. And he talks with a lot of, like, you know, condescendencia. That's how it's called in Spanish. I don't know in English. And then, basically, by the way, what a great damn music. Wait, do you need something?
I'm crafting planes. Panes.
Oh, I see.
Pain is such a weird word.
I'm gonna be mining while I talk, so we can get more things. So what was it? Okay, so basically, yeah, Mufasa, yeah, it's like, don't threaten me. Then Scar goes away, you know, you see. And then what happened is that his kid Simba talks to him in the morning, right? And he's like, oh, that, you know, like you promised me that we would do this, and then the dad takes care of his responsibility, right? So he goes, and he talks with Simba in the morning, right? And he tells him that everything that touches the lights, right? Like everything that it's within the lights, it's from them, right? And Simba asks about what about that part, right? Full of shadow, and Mufasa said, "You must never go there." That, like just like that, like, you must never go there. And then I think Simba's like, oh, okay. And then later in the movie, Simba goes to Scar, and Scar tells him like, Oh yeah, Simba asks him, right? Like, what is there, right? What is in the shadow? And Scar says like, oh, that's something that a kid should never know, right? Because that's only for brave kids, you know, only for brave people. And he says, I would never say that there is a cemetery of elephants, you know. That's to call the attention of Simba, of course. And then Simba's like, really? Damn, you know, like now he's thinking about going there, right? So Scar is like, okay, but don't tell anyone. This is our little secret between uncle and nephew. And then Simba goes back, and then he like, um, he goes to Nala, which is his friend, right? And tells her like, let's go to a place that is very interesting. And she's like, don't interrupt me. I'm in something very important. I'm taking a bath. And he's like, but this is something really interesting, whatever. And then she's like, okay, it better be something interesting, you know, like, uh, yeah, you know. And then the mothers that are right there, they asked them like, uh, what are they talking about, right? Like, where do they want to go? And he lies, saying that they are gonna go to a very safe place, let's say. And then she's like, why do you want to go there? There's nothing interesting there. And he's like, I will tell you later. And she's like, oh, I see. Okay, okay. So they ask, can we go? And the mothers are like, yes, but only if the bird follows you, okay, to protect you, right? So they go, and then we have a little scene with music, and so like talking about how Simba, since he's a kid, he wants to grow as fast as possible to be able to do grown adult things, right? Uh, and then you know, like, so he can do whatever he wants, right? Because he that's what he thinks it's to be an adult, right? Doing whatever you want.
Mm.
Um, and then, oh shit, oh shit, hello. Um, and then they finally lost the bird, so they could go to the cemetery of elephants, which was a cemetery of elephants, but it was also the territory of the hyenas, and it was a place where uh, lions should not go because of rules. Not because they couldn't, but because of rules, right? To keep the cycle of life, which is what Mufasa explained to Simba earlier in the movie. With the promise, right? When he told him what was from them, he also explained the cycle of life, you know, which
Mm.
is something very, very nice. And then, yeah, the hyenas find them, you know. Simba is like, Nana is like, uh, don't you think it's dangerous? And Simba is like, ha, I laugh to danger, you know? I laugh. Then hyenas appear and they threaten them to eat them, right? And then Simba tries to escape with Nala, and he's kind of brave and tries to defend Nala. And while they're escaping, they get cornered, and then Mufasa appears and saves them, right? And they're
Mhm.
like, the bird, it's like, oh Mufasa, thank you, you came in the right moment. And he's all angry, and they are like, oh shit, we messed up. And then the it's nighttime, right? And Mufasa tells the bird like, get Nala with her mom. I'm gonna talk with Simba, right? And the bird's like, good luck, Simba. You know, look, good luck, because yeah, you know, they're all afraid of
Mm.
him, right? Because he's the Lion King, you know. And then Mufasa tells Simba to come there. He comes. He tells him, Simba, you put in risk Nala, and you disobeyed my orders uh, consciously, right? Knowing, because he told him to not. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna die. What the fuck? Oh shit. Bro, I think I'm gonna die. Can you take my things? I'm gonna die.
Okay. Come to me.
I told you, yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I don't know where I am. But I kinda know where I have to go. I think.
I don't have enough inventory space to hold it all.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to come back for a second round or something.
Just make a chest. Just make a chest and I'll get the things.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, oh shit, what the fuck? A creeper insta killed me. What the fuck? Nah, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Oh, whatever. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yeah, it tells him all of that, like you disobeyed me, being conscious about it, and you put in risk the life of Nala and yours. And Simba answers like, I just wanted to be brave like you are. And Mufasa says, I'm only brave when I have to. You know, like, I felt fear this time. And Simba's like, why? And Mufasa says, because I fear I might lose you, right? I might could lose you. And Simba's like, well, I think the hyenas probably were more scared. I think. And then Mufasa says like, yeah, because no one messes with your father. And then they play a little bit. And then Simba tells him, Dad, are we gonna always be best friends? And his dad tells him, you'll see, Simba. Like, I should stop using those things. Like, say like all the time, like it's so shit. Holy shit, I'm messing up all the shit. Oh fuck. Okay, so
Okay. So I kind of get how you're doing it. So you're describing the actions, but like minimal thought. Oh my god, I'm about to die. Wait, hold on. I need to run a little.
maybe.
Okay. So
I'm
you're
not
describing
saying-
the actions,
I'm not saying it's
but like,
better. I'm just trying to tell you the story actually.
yeah, it's mainly action and
Yeah.
sayings, like the dialogue.
Yeah, yeah. But
And
the
then
thing,
like you give a little bit of context if it's needed, like only a little bit.
yeah. So wait, the thing is, Mufasa told him like, wait, what was? Oh yeah, responsibility. All that. Oh yeah, Simba tells him, "Are we gonna always be friends?" And his dad tells him, "You will see, Simba." Like, I should stop saying like, Simba. You will see. You see the sky? There are all the lion kings that ever were alive, right? And they are there to guide us whenever we need it. You know, it's okay. Like, it's kind of explaining about death. You know, like all the guidance that they give to their sons, it comes from generations and generations. Does that make sense? Yeah. And yeah, so basically saying that when they die, they are in the sky, and they can give you guidance whenever you need it, right? Can you give me the chords? Please? Say them fast.
Actually, I'm not sure where the chest is.
Yeah,
I already
no,
wandered,
no,
to
the
a different area.
House chords. House chords. I'm
Okay.
sure I found it. Never mind. Okay, so. Where was? Oh yeah, he talked about that, right? And then
Yeah.
things happen, right? And Scar actually was in an alliance with the hyenas, and he wanted Simba to die, right? And they didn't kill him, but Scar thought of an idea of how to kill Mufasa, right? And to do this, he would bait with Simba, right? He will prepare a trap with a stampede, right? Where the fuck is the chest? Holy shit, I'm so lost. Okay, I think maybe.
Okay.
No. And he brings Simba to place and tells him like he wants to give a surprise to his dad, but it's a secret, right? And he should stay there for the surprise. And it puts it in a place and tells him to practice his roar. His I think it's called roar, right? So Simba stays there, and roars, and then a stampede begins, right? And Scar goes to Mufasa and tells him, Mufasa, your your son Simba is about to get uh, stomped in a stampede. And Mufasa says, Simba. And then he goes and runs to try to save him, right? And then Simba is trying to survive, escaping from the stampede, right? And solving shit, right? And the bear is like, I found Simba.
Mm.
Mufasa is right there. Mufasa goes, takes Simba from the neck, throws him up into a cliff, saves him, and now Mufasa tries to escape, right? But Scar was waiting on top of the cliff, and Mufasa tells him, Scar, save me! And Scar tells him, oh, your majesty, you know? And he goes like a bitch and puts his claws onto the hands of Mufasa and throw him back to the stampede, you know, and kills him.
Mm.
And Simba only watches how that falls, but he didn't see Scar. Do you have food?
I have like 30 steaks on like one of the chests I left. Oh, here, it's on this one.
Oh, nice. So yeah, and then after the stampede finishes, Simba goes to see his father, bro. Are you listening? Like, he goes to see his father, and he's dead.
Mm.
Do you listen to me? He's
Yeah,
dead. Okay.
yeah, Scar killed him.
Yeah. And Scar goes to Simba and tells him, "Oh, poor boy, your dad is dead, and it's all your fault. You should probably run and leave this place." And then the hyenas come, and Simba has to escape, right? And while he escapes, the hyenas tell him that he should never come back ever again, right? And he gets lost in the desert, and then these two characters, Timon and Pumbaa, which I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but yeah, these two characters found Simba. I don't know the name of the animals they are, but yeah, they found him and they tried to adopt him, right? And Simba was all sad and depressed, like, oh, you know, or sad, you know, because he thinks it's all his fault that his dad died. And they tried to tell him how to live, right? And they're like, Hakuna Matata, you know, don't worry. If you cannot fix it, you shouldn't worry, you know. Uh, just relax, be happy, you know, don't stress out. And Simba grows with that mentality with them, right? And they become very close friends. Then, you know, they show us a little bit of how is the life of Hakuna Matata. You know, just eating whatever we find, no responsibilities, basically. And later on in the story, while they are playing and Simba already grows up and is an adult, they're just living their life, chilling, and then a lion appears, right? Who is getting Pumbaa, and Pumbaa is escaping. Timon tries to save him, and then Simba comes and saves them, right? And it looks like the lion that was hunting them was Nala, and Simba's like, "Wait, Nala?" And Nala says, "Who are you? Like, wait, who are you? You know?" And he's like, I'm Simba." And she's like, "Wow, no way, are you're real life? Wait, that means you are the real king. Your mother is gonna be so happy when she knows about this." And they're like, "Wait, Simba, you never told us you were a king. Are you really a king?" And he says, "No." She's she's like, "Why do you say no? You are the king. What are you talking about?" And then they kind of change of topic. Um, and then Nala and Simba have a great like day, let's say, you know, a lot of romance and all that shit, you know. And then
Hmm.
um, Nala talks about it, and she tells him that yeah, it's crazy to think that he's actually alive. Like, he must come back as soon as possible. And he's like, no, I can't do that. She's like, why, you're the king? And he's like, no, I can't. I'm not the king. You know, Hakuna Matata. And she's like, what the fuck did you say? You know, like, what? What do you mean Hakuna Matata? What are you talking about? And he's like, you know, if you can't fix it, you shouldn't worry about it and stress out. and she's like, but the whole kingdom it's on ruins, and we're lacking food. Everyone is so bad, you know. Everyone is having a really bad time, and he's like, nah, I wouldn't change anything, right? Like I can't do anything, so I can't. I won't do that. And she says, if you were just half as what your father was, and he gets really mad, and he starts insulting, and he's like, you shouldn't have come here to just try to change my mind and all that, and they are fighting. And then she's, he's like, I'm gonna leave, and then she's like, okay, then leave, and then he leaves, and it's like around midnight. He's walking around thinking like, ah, I, it's not like I could change anything anyways. And then the monkey who noticed Simba was alive, which is the person who made the ceremony, right, when he was born, he goes to Simba, right? And he's just like singing, you know, like ah na 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 na, you know, he's singing something random, like kind of stupid, and annoying him, right? And he's like trying to get peace, you know. He's like, I don't want to hear this stupid monkey. And the monkey plays a little bit with him, and in some point, uh, Simba tells him, "You don't know who I am," and the monkey answers, "Do you know who you are?" And Simba's like, "Of course I know, but do you?" And the monkey says, "Yeah, I know who you are. You are the son of Mufasa." And he's well, "Wait, do you know him?" And the monkey just runs. Simba follows him, and when he finally reaches him, by the way, what? We are neighbors. Hello, hello, neighbor.
Hello.
Okay, I'm sorry. And then uh, when he found him, he told him, "Did you meet my father? Like, did you used to know my father?" And he says, "Correction, I know your father." He says, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, but he actually died." And the monkey says, "He hasn't died. Let me show you. The old Rafiki is gonna show you the way." Right? And then he makes Mufasa follow him, running, and then he puts him into a little like water thing where he sees his reflection, right? And when Simba sees his reflection, he's like, "Ah, it's just my reflection, you know. He's in here." And the monkey is like, you know, like, oh fuck. The monkey tries to tell him that he's there, you know. And then the thing is that the climate changes, and you can see in the sky like big storm thing, and you see like Mufasa, you know, in the skies, and tells him, "Simba, you forgot about yourself, and when you forgot about yourself, you forgot about me at the same time." And Simba's like, "Dad, what do I have to do? You know, like I need you. Please don't let me alone." He's like, "Simba, you have to remember who you are. Remember who you are." Simba's like, "Don't abandon me, father. Don't let me alone. I need you." And then after the storm ends, the monkey comes back, and Simba says, "The climate is changing, right?" Like he asks, like, "Okay, but how could I change all of this, right? Because if I go back to the kingdom, I will have to face my past." And the monkey is like, "Oh, isn't the climate kind of crazy? Like, isn't it kind of crazy?" Simba is like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
the climate is changing." He's like, "Change is good?" And Simba answers, "Yeah, but it's not easy." And then the monkey says, "But you can." Uh, oh yeah, he hits him with a stick. You know, he hits him like what? You know, he hits him like that. You
Yeah.
know, and then he's like, "Ow! Why did you hit me?" And the monkey says, and the monkey says, "It doesn't matter. It's in the past." And Simba is like, "Yeah, but it hurts." And the monkey says, "Oh yeah, the past hurts, but you can flee from it, or you can learn." And then he tries to hit him with the stick, but this time he dodges. "I will hit you, but I don't think you are following my story, so you won't dodge." Okay, we can consider that a dodge. Okay. So then the monkey know, like okay, so Simba dodges, and the monkey says, "Oh, you see, you are learning. So what are you gonna do now?" And Simba says, "Okay, first of all, I'm gonna take your stick and I'm gonna throw it out. And second, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take my place as the king." And the monkey is like all happy, you know, celebrating like woo, woo, you know, the king is back. And then he goes back to Nala and the other guys, you know, his friends, and tells them, right? There are some scenes that are kind of funny and blah blah blah. But we're gonna focus on the story, right? And then um, Simba goes back, and they get in a fight, right? And he fights with Scar, and Scar tells him like, Simba, you need to tell them, you know, like, won't you tell your dirty, filthy secrets to the rest of the group about your father? And they're like, what is Scar talking about? And Simba says, like, Scar says, won't you tell them about how you killed him? And they say, no, that's not true, right, Simba? And Simba says, it is true. And his mother is like, Simba, that cannot be. Actually, wait, I skipped a part. Can I go back?
Oh.
Can you forget it? I said all this. I skipped a little part.
Wait, what?
Okay, wait a second. Okay, so basically, Simba goes back to the kingdom, right? And everything is make shit. Like everything is shit, right? Grass, forget about grass. It's all gray, dark, no food. Trees, completely like dead, right? And he's like, oh my god, I didn't believe Nala when she said everything was shit. Damn. Like, and he looks at how much he neglected his responsibilities, and that's why everything is like shit, right? And then, yeah, they help him try to recover it, right? And they do some reference to the rest of the movie, but yeah, I don't want to talk too much about this. Yeah, like, back to the present, right? Okay, so Scar, it's there as the king, and the mother of Simba gets called by Scar, right? Scar is like, come here, whatever is the name of her, I always forget. And then she's like, what do you want, Scar? And he says, we don't have enough food, the hyenas are dying of hunger or whatever, we don't have enough food. And she says, yeah, it's because there isn't food. And he's like, there is food, you just need to look better. And she says, there is no food. The only way to find more food is if we just abandon this kingdom. And he says, never. She's like, then you just condemned us. You just damned us to death. And he's like, well, that's what it's gonna be like. And she said, well, if you were just a little bit of what Mufasa was. And he says, while hitting her, he hits her like, I'm way better than Mufasa, you know? And then Simba appears, and Scar is like, Mufasa! And he tries to get away a little bit, like go back. And Simba gets to his mother, which is on the floor, and she's like, Mufasa? He's like, no, Simba. He's like, Simba, you're alive, and all that, right? And then it's what happens, right? Scar tells him, like, you should tell them the truth and all that, right? Because Simba tells him, Scar, I am the king, you should leave now, right? And Scar is like, well, you see, there's a little problem, you know? The hyenas think that I'm the king, basically threatening him, like, no, I cannot give you this place because I have the hyenas at my side, right? And then everything happens, blah, blah, blah. Simba says it's his fault, then Scar corners him into a cliff to throw him. And when he's in the same position as his father, Scar tells him like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? Like when I killed your father. And then, I'm sorry. And then, he's like, you murderer, you killed my father, tell them the truth, right? And threatens him and tells him like, Scar, tell them everyone the truth. And then a fight becomes when he says, I killed Mufasa. A fight between the lions and the hyenas, right? Like the Scar alliance and all that, and they're all fighting. And then Simba and Scar fight a little bit. Like, I mean, they chase, right? Simba chases Scar and finally gets him. And Scar's like, oh, Simba, I'm sorry. I was just threatened by the hyenas. I didn't want to do this, really. Please tell me, what do you want? What do you need? I can do whatever you want. Tell me, what do you need? And Simba repeats what he told him before when he was a kid. You should flee and never come back. You know? Oh, I said, oh.
Mm.
And then Scar tells him like, oh, I see, so that's how things are, right? It's okay, you know? And then it cheats and throw him like a little bit of fire into the eyes and cheats to try to get him. And they fight. And then Simba wins and throws him out of the cliff. And the hyenas killed Scar because he betrayed them, right? Because he said that it was all fault of the hyenas and that they were enemies. And yeah, Simba becomes the Lion King. And yeah, Wah.
Damn.
I basically told you the whole movie. What do you think about that?
I feel like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Well, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit, bro. Can you notice how much I love this movie? That I know
Yeah.
basically the whole movie by heart.
You're freaking like reciting how the characters react to each other. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't remember that.
Holy shit. So good, bro. Do you want to hear it again? Yeah. Probably not. Bro.
Okay, so here's what I noticed on how you told it.
Okay.
So, you described the characters at the beginning to set the stage. You described the scenes, mainly the actions and the dialogue, instead of other stuff.
Mhm.
You explained it in chronological order as it's told in the story, instead of going back and forth.
Yep.
So you set up, like, okay, and then you also do some explanations, but not too much.
Even though there's so much I skip. Like when I talk to my mother and I tell her literally the whole movie, I told basically everything, like including the jokes, you know. And I even did some acting, you know, to make it more interesting. In English, it's kind of harder. Like, how can I make the Rafiki and making it funny? I don't know. I will more likely sound cringe more than funny, but I'm not sure.
Okay, can I try describing it in the way you described it? Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so first as characters, we have Rudius Greyrat, who is a reincarnated 35-year-old man, and he's pretty much a shut-in, jobless guy
Okay.
who is also a pervert, and he's reincarnated into a family with Hall Greyrat and Zenith Greyrat. Hall's the father. He's a retired adventurer, and same with Zenith. They were in a party together, and then they married, and then they had a family out in the farms. And then the main character decides, like, okay, I'm gonna do this life correctly. Like, I'm not gonna be making the same mistakes like I did before. So what he does first is he gets studying the world that he's now in, like reading books and stuff, and he figures out that it's just like magic and adventures and all these like demon continents and all that. And his parents one day find him casting spells, like an intermediate level spell that people have to train for a lot as like 3-year-old, 5-year-old kid, right? And like, oh my god, he's like a prodigy. So they hire a magic tutor named Roxy, and then she's a blue-haired demon girl, but she looks like a human who's like a teenage girl, right? But she's actually the same age as the main character. She's 35, but she looks like a teenager, right? And so they invite her to her house. The chest?
Yeah.
Which chest?
The one that was below with things.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to find it. It's there somewhere.
Bro, fuck. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and then so they invite Roxy to their house, hire her as the tutor, and so she's living with them now, teaching the main character magic. And then the main character's like perving around, right, like stealing her panties, trying to peek on her while she's bathing, all that stuff. But he's also like earnestly learning magic, and like genuinely respects her as a teacher. Like like all that. And he eventually like becomes like really good at magic, like really really good through her teachings. Right? And then so there's a graduation ceremony where you have to like go out of the house to like this spot in the village, and then cast this like really big spell, right? But the main character, he has like trauma on going outside and stuff after he got relentlessly bullied in school, like really badly. So he shut himself in, and then it's like going outside is pretty much it gets him shaking, right? Like he can't get out of the house physically anymore, right? But then his mentor, his magic teacher Roxy, like makes him go outside. Like she's like just picks him up on the horse, like puts him on, and he's like, okay, don't worry, you know. And it's like she doesn't know, like she thinks he's just afraid of horses or something. But like, regardless, she helps him out, and then he like really appreciates it. Right? And it's kind of like a mini moment growth for him. So yeah, are we following so far?
Yep. Actually, way better
Okay,
than
so
before.
yeah, after that, uh, now he can go outside, right? So he goes out playing with the other young kids, and he meets his childhood friend called Sylphie, uh, who he saves from bullying because he's like he sees some kids bullying her for having green hair. She looks like a evil demon, but she's not. She just has green hair. So he saves her, and then they go play together, and they become really good friends. Okay.
Hmm.
But eventually Sylphie starts falling in love with him. So uh, she starts getting a bit dependent on him, right? And he's thinking like, okay, like this is not really my fault. Like I'm just playing with her, right? Like I just wanted to have fun, but oh she is like she might grow up to be a pretty fine woman, like. And then he's thinking to himself like these bad thoughts of like, oh maybe I should like make her my wife, you know, like have her be dependent on me and all that.
I
But
see.
in the end, he makes the decision of like, no, like I gotta go to magic school, and I'm gonna take her with me. Like we're gonna go magic school together, and I'll pay for her education and all that, right? So he takes the plan to his father, and his father's like, hell no, like we're not gonna pay for magic school for both of you. And so he's like, this is pretty big because he's a jobless guy, right? So he thinks, so he tells him like, I'm gonna get a job, like do get me whatever, like I'll work. Keep in mind, this kid's like 9, 10 years old. So his father's like, okay, I'll think of something. And he separates him from Sylphie by pretty much um, fighting him. Like, he trains him in sword practice, his father. So, like, one day while they're sword practicing, he goes, like, for real, and then tries to knock him out. And, like, the main character tries to fight back and, like, use magic and stuff to stop his father. But eventually, he gets knocked out, and then he's sent off in a carriage to, like, the royal family to tutor their daughter, Arius. Eris. Their daughter's Eris. Right? So this is something that's different in the anime than the book, I think. In the book, the fight between the father and him matters a lot more, I think, because it's given in context later that, like, the main character was actually like really strong in the fight. Like, it says like, oh, I took 3 steps to get to him. Like, if he was a normal adventurer in a party, I would have been dead. Like, I got to start training again. You know? Do you like? I don't feel like it comes across like when I explain this though. Like, why it's kind of
I think
significant. I don't know.
first of all,
Yeah.
I think you're overthinking, like, how am I reacting to it? Does that make sense? Like, you're pre-assuming what I'm thinking. Like, for example, when I told the story of Lion King, do you think I cared at all if you will liked it or you will be agree on it?
No.
Exactly. That's what the mentality I think is the right one for like telling a story. Like, just
Okay, I'll keep it in mind.
focus on what matters, which is explaining what you feel in it and what you like about it, right? Like, for example, I was not focused on if you were into the story I was telling, but just like I was into the story I was telling. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
the phrase that this character said and the thing that happened and how it felt like oh, because I didn't explain why I think like why I felt so much about the phrase of Mufasa of remember yourself or what the Rafiki like the monkey said. I just explained what I felt, right? I just say like, oh, this was so good, you know. It's like assuming you just understand.
Okay, I'll try that. I'll try that. Okay, so wait, can we go back a little bit then? Like,
No.
I missed something actually.
Yes, we can. No, it's good.
Okay, so his childhood friends, right? So he meets her, they become friends, whatever. And then, uh, his mother gets pregnant with another kid, but then his father gets the maid pregnant.
What?
And an emergency. What?
I didn't get it.
Are you confused? Okay. His mother gets pregnant,
Yep.
right? But then, since the father can't like do stuff with his mother anymore while she's pregnant, then
Uh-huh.
he gets the maid pregnant
Okay.
accidentally, you know, while he's doing it with the maid.
Okay.
So after that, an emergency family meeting is called, and Zenith, the mother, is thinking like, okay, what should we do? Like, do we send this maid back to her hometown, like through the winter? Because, like, I don't know if I can stand like having to, like, have this maid with my husband's like that cheated on, right? With the maids,
Mhm.
and the main character decides to save the maid because she's always been around, like helping him out, like clean his laundry and whatever. And a big moment was that when she found the panties that he stole from his old magic instructor, uh, she didn't say anything. Like, she just let it go. Right? So he appreciates that, and then he saves her by pretty much lying about that, what the father did, like saying that the father forced himself on the maid. And the situation is resolved, right? The mother like thinks it through, and she's like makes a decision like, okay, the maid can stay, it's fine. And then the story continues a bit. Okay, wait, am I allowed to time skip forward if it's
Yeah,
like
of course.
directly related?
I skip forward with many things that happen.
Okay, because we're gonna go
I see.
forward and back, but anyways, the main character later apologizes. He's like, okay, please don't be mad at my dad. Like, I actually made that all up. Like, he didn't actually do all those things. And she's like, I know, don't worry. Like, you can go to bed now, right? And later, it's revealed when she's like thinking to herself that she never believed his lie in the first place. It was just that she saw the look of worry on his face, but like how the family could break apart. Right? Like, the main character was trying to convince himself almost that he was just doing it for his personal wishes, right? His
Yeah.
personal gain, but it was actually like he genuinely cared about his new family and his new world. And yeah, so this stuff happens with the childhood friends, right? He gets sent off on this job, and his father separates them. Pretty good idea. And now he's tutoring this new girl called Eris. And she's like a brat. She's angry all the time, like hitting people for no reason almost. Right? Beating other smaller kids up. It's like very obnoxious, not listening to lessons, all that.
I like this.
So he comes up with a plan to like tame her pretty much by doing a pretend kidnapping situation. Like, he talks with the adults and he's like, okay, pretend to kidnap us, right? And then a bunch of shit happens. Like, kidnapping actually turns out to be real because like some people were trying to get revenge on the family and all that. And then he saves her pretty much. Like, so she's thinking like, oh my god, like he saved me. Like, he's so cool. Like, he does all this magic and he's pretty competent. Like, okay, maybe I'll listen to him. Like, maybe. So that he convinces her to listen a bit, and he pretty much just teaches her, you know, grows closer, goes through some antics, does some pervert things, of course, like she's sleeping on the hay bale, right? And he's like, ooh, like her breasts, like look at her breasts. Let me give it a little bit of a feel, right? So he's kind of a scum still. Anyways, time passes, and then it's his birthday, right? And by now, the girl has pretty much like grown to like him more and more, and um, she pretty much has a crush on him, right? And she like gives him his presents, like really expensive stuff. He's like, "Oh, here you go, and we prepared this party for you as a surprise party." It's like, and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't actually care that much, like, but he cries, like fake cries, to make them feel like they did a good job, and everyone's like, "Oh," right? So they feel bad for him a bit because they think he like misses his parents and stuff because he's sent off. And later that night, Eris, the girl, goes to comfort him, but he misunderstands the situation and tries to make a move on her, like, you know, try to do the deed. But then, like, she pretty much pushes him off and like punches him a little. She's like, no, and then like leaves. And then, okay, the main character feels like a lot of regret. Like, he's like, oh my god, like she was so genuine and she gave me all this stuff and she actually cared, right? Like, it's the first time someone did any of this for me, right? And I almost ruined it with all of that. And so he's super apologetic. And then she comes back. And she's like, she forgives him pretty much instantly, right? Because she likes him. So they're all good from that on. And then, yeah, they do a little bit more stuff together. But then the turning point of the story where everything like actually kind of starts is this big disaster, where pretty much like they're just doing teaching, normal teaching one day, sword practice, whatever, and then it's like big magical explosion happens, and it pretty much wipes out the entire like area, and it destroys all the buildings around, but it teleports the people to random places across the planet, or like across the world. So yeah, you get that? Like it wipes out the area, but it teleports people. It doesn't kill them. So him and the girl are teleported to the demon continent, which is like a really dangerous, really deadly place full of really strong monsters and stuff. It's like very unforgiving. It's like imagine living in like a $2 million Singaporean apartment, and then you get thrown into like the Nigerian slums. You know what I mean? Like,
No idea, but imagine that I do.
okay, so after that, they meet this demon named Rui Gerd, and he's from this very feared race of demons that everyone's afraid of because they did stuff that's really bad in the war, but it's not them anymore, but they still have the huge reputation of how brutal they were. Right? So he helps them out because they're kids. So he's like, oh, it's my duty to help kids because I'm a warrior. So main character's like, oh, why is this guy helping us, right? Like, so he tries to get on his nice side. He's like, oh, I'll help you like improve your reputation and stuff. Like, I'll help you. Right? And then they get to know each other better and all that, and do some adventuring. Right? Try to get back home across the demon continent. And to be honest, this part of the book's pretty boring. Like, it's the main part where I was like, oh my god, hurry it up already. But they do some adventuring and stuff. But eventually, their plans start to almost like fall apart at this moment when they almost get blackmailed, right? Because they're doing some bad stuff to like try to get money really quickly and like get back home. Like, and someone notices that and tries to blackmail them. And the main character is like thinking it through when they get caught. They're like, okay, do I kill this guy? Like, do I not? what are the options? And he concludes like, okay, it doesn't matter what I have to do, I will get this girl home. Like, we will all get home together, even if I have to like flood the entire city and get out of here, right? So he makes this like decision and he starts casting his spell. Like, keep in mind, he's a prodigy magician and he's like really strong. So he could like allegedly like flood the entire city that they're in.